Hello and welcome to It's All About You, the best show about you on the internet. I am B. Dave Walters, life, relationships, and spiritual coach. This is episode number 43, Jealousy. Again, shooting at night's kind of becoming a habit now, but that's okay because I kind of like the more mellow vibe. But I'm sure I'll be back in the middle of noon, jumping up and down, screaming again soon. So, jealousy. I want to start this one with a quote. Jealousy is both reasonable and belongs to reasonable men, while envy is base and belongs to the base. For the one makes himself get good things by jealousy, while the other does not allow his neighbor to have them through envy. This is by Aristotle. Jealousy is both reasonable and belongs to reasonable men, while envy is base and belongs to the base. For the one makes himself get good things by jealousy, while the other does not allow his neighbor to have them through envy. It's by Aristotle. A lot of people use these two words, jealousy and envy, interchangeably, like they're talking about the same thing. But the fact is they actually really are talking about two different things. But for our purposes here, rather than get stuck in the language, I'm probably going to keep using them interchangeably too. But we're going to talk a little more about the difference between jealousy and envy later on in the episode. The reason why this came up, and I mentioned in the episode about men, that there are some guys out there, dumb guys out there, who really get upset when their girlfriend or significant other is talking to me either as a friend or as a client, or if I'm helping her with one of her problems. And this actually, there's a couple of women that get mad when their husbands or boyfriends talk with me about things too, but it's more guys that do this. And let me say again, dumb guys do this. Because jealousy, anytime that you're really upset about something, and I should say envy, because right now I'm talking about envy, even though I'm using the word jealousy, which is going to make sense in a second. In fact, I tell you what, let's just talk now about the difference between jealousy and envy. It's exactly what Aristotle said. If you see somebody drive by and they're driving your dream car, and you think, oh my God, I want that so bad, and because of that, you go out and you work and get that. Oh, I'm going to explain what happened in my hand in a minute. Sorry, busted knuckles, but I'll explain it. If you see that red car and you're like, oh my God, I've got to go get that, and because of that, you work hard and save your money and apply the secret and really go out and hustle and get that car, then that jealousy actually served you well. Does that make sense? When you saw that somebody else had something and you wanted it, and because of that you went and you got it and you didn't hurt anybody and you actually elevated yourself in the process, then hey, good times. Be as jealous as you like. That's what he's saying. Envy, on the other hand, that's what haters do. Okay? That's when you look at that person drive by in that car and you're like, why does he have that car? Why does she get to drive that car? I mean, why do they even need that car? You don't need a car that costs that much money. You should be giving money to charity instead, right? That's haters. And that's the bad thing. That's one of the 7 deadly sins, envy, right? Because when you look at what somebody else has, when you look at something that somebody else has accomplished, and it fills you with a negative feeling and a negative judgment about that person, that's not good, because not only are you judging them, when in reality you don't even know them. You don't know them. So really, who are you to make a value judgment as about whether or not they should or should not have something? And the second thing is you're pushing that thing further away from yourself. So say somebody, actually I just had a discussion about this with a friend of mine. I mentioned that one day I want to have a private jet, and I do. And she had a lot of attachments and judgments about this and about what kind of person wants something like that. And I'm like, this kind of person wants something like that. And she tried to make it imply that I had this like materialistic bent. And let me explain this right now, because this has come up with people who are like, why do you charge money for what you do? Or why do you promote your website, peacelovemoney.com, in these videos? So let me explain that now. If I'm going to have things, or if you're going to have things, why not have really nice things, right? They don't mean anything about you. They don't mean anything about me. Don't define yourself based on the car you drive. Don't define yourself based on where you live. But if you've got to have a bed, why not have a really nice bed? If you've got to have a home, why not have a really nice home? If you've got to have a car, why not have a really nice car? And if your dream car is a $400,000 Ferrari, good on you. Go get it. Because here's the thing. Let's say you drive a car right now that costs $30,000, okay? And you make whatever you make. We'll say you make $50,000, whatever. Somebody that makes 10 times more money than you make can own a car that costs 10 times more money than your car costs. And it's the exact same thing relative to them in their life. You understand? See, when you make these statements about what somebody should and shouldn't have, to tie this back to envy, when you make these statements about what somebody should and shouldn't have or should and shouldn't want, the problem is it falls apart under scrutiny, right? Like, let's look at my desire to have a private jet. Gulfstream 2, by the way. If you say something like that is wrong, you shouldn't want to have this. Okay, well, is the problem that it's a Gulfstream 2? Can I have a Gulfstream 1? Is that okay? If I can't have a Gulfstream 1, can I have a single engine Cessna? You know, can I have a prop plane? Can I have a glider? At what point is it appropriately humble? If I can't own a private plane, can I fly? Can I ride first class, or does it have to be coach? Can it be in a 777, or does it have to be in a 727 or a smaller plane? You see what I mean? Or if I can't fly, can I drive? Well, how much does a car have to cost? Can I have a Mercedes, or is that still too much? Can I have a Cadillac? What about a Toyota? If I come down to a Toyota, can it be new, or does it have to be used? What's appropriately humble? You follow me? It doesn't matter. It's just judgments that you arbitrarily just kind of pick out of the ether of what is and is not too much, or what someone else should or should not have, right? And these judgments, besides the fact that they're pointless, are negative and hurtful because, one, they're pushing good things away from you. Even if you don't want a Ferrari, you don't have to have a Ferrari. Believe me, that's not everybody's bliss. That is fine. Some people will drive Fords their entire life and be happy with it, and that is great. Good on you. Drive the nicest Ford you can get, though, or the nicest Ford that you want, whatever, right? But the problem is, when you put out into the universe, that car is bad. There's a couple of things that you're saying right there. First of all, there's the unspoken judgment about people that are even in that economic bracket, that anybody that even can have that kind of car, something must be wrong with them, that there's something wrong with luxury automobiles. And really, if you're not careful, the judgment that can start forming in your mind is just cars. Cars are bad. Don't be surprised if you manifest a lot of car trouble if you've got a thing against people that drive nice cars. Because I can tell you, if you got a thing against people that drive nice cars, you're never going to have one. So this is something that you may want to look at in yourself. When you see somebody that's got something that you want, actually, we're going to put a pin in next. We're about to split this episode, but let me explain what happened to my hand. I was cleaning the house. I'm shooting this on a Sunday, was trying to let my wife relax with my little girl, pamper her a little bit and clean up the house for her, and cut my hand up. So I don't have some neat story about being in a fight, martial arts training, nothing like that. Got scratched up cleaning a bathtub. So, interesting story. So I'm going to go ahead and split this for my brothers and sisters on YouTube. You guys, make sure you watch part 2. For everybody else, stay with me. We're going to keep going.